that could be out there. All right, it looks like we do have a new warning just for the northern portions of Jasper County. It's going to be starting near Newborn. So just right outside our viewing area, but still is going to include parts of the northern portion of the mid-state. So again, this is going to be a new tornado warning that has started right near Newborn, making its way towards Broughton and just to the north of Farrar along Georgia Highway 142. So if you happen to be within this polygon in the northern portions of Jasper County, this is your time to get in your safe space, as this has just been issued as a tornado warning. So again, the most interior portion of wherever you happen to live, away from windows, and the lowest level possible. All right. I'm still going to be looking for our debris tracker, but again, we do have multiple active tornado warnings in the mid-state, so you need to be getting into your safe spaces right now. This is the time. If you happen to have a tornado warning issued on your phone right now from the National Weather Service, this is that time to get into that safe space to be as safe as possible. All right. And here we go. Here's that debris tracker. And again, we're reading reports of potentially a touchdown in Butts County. So I want to take the debris tracker and see if we can see anything to try and confirm a potential tornado within this. All right, I'm just going to silence that real quick. All right, so we're going to zoom in here. All right. And I know things look a little messy sometimes. I'm not seeing anything on this tornado warning right here that brings any concern to my eyes. Typically, if you does have a tornado on the ground, you're going to see a ball form within all of this red, but I don't see anything at the moment with that tornado warning where we had the potential touchdown. I'm still looking at all these other warnings just to be sure. You're going to go down to the one that's in Upson County as well. All right, and again, things are going to get a little messy, a little blurry over here near Roland, but that is where that circulation is for the tornado warning in Upson County. So even though this is a little messy, you still want to take caution and treat it as if there is a tornado on the ground and get into your safe space, especially if you were in Roland at the moment. So we're going to flip back to our velocity real quick and head back to the northern portion. So we still do have 3 active tornado warnings for the mid-state up here. So again, we're still going to have a tornado warning for those at Hardee's Crossroads, but we still do have this first one still in Butts County. So if you're in Butts County and live anywhere near Haley Road, Bradley Road, Thorpe Road, and Reeves Road, this is your time to get into your safe space, as this is still under an active tornado warning. This is going to be heading eastward as we make our way into Jasper County, where there are 2 active tornado warnings within Jasper County itself. Again, starting off in Hardee's Crossroads, making its way towards Jasper County Middle School, excuse me. But we'll see, okay, we get a little bit of a better look at that radar right here where we do have that differentiation between these 2 colors. So I think this is going to be where that circulation that they're warning about is going to be right here. It's not super definitive, but still enough to be warned and make sure that we do have something out there to make sure everyone is being safe. But to me, this doesn't look super concerning. We especially don't see anything on the debris tracker right now, but we'll still watch this to see whether or not it happens to intensify and or weaken over time. We still do have one off to our north, and we'll zoom in here and we'll circle the area. All right, so this is, I think, where we could see the circulation for the northern portions of Jasper County, where we have our winds going away and our winds going towards the radar, giving us this counterclockwise circulation, prompting rotation within the system. So this is going to be right over top of Broughton. So if you happen to live in Broughton in the northern portions of Jasper County, this is your time to get into your safe space right now, as this could be right over top of you. So we will zoom in just a little bit. So that's going to be right along the intersection of Georgia Highway 213 and Georgia Highway 142. That circulation is going to be right over top of you near Old Broughton Road, near Reese Road, and also Meadows Road as well. So if you happen to live near that intersection and or any of those roads, this is that time to get into your safe space, as this is an active tornado warning. Again, it's going to be the most interior portion of wherever you happen to live. So away from windows, on the lowest floor possible. And make sure that you do maybe bring some shoes with you in case debris happens to get anywhere, so you don't step on glass or anything that could get into your feet as you try to make it out to safety afterwards. And maybe even a helmet to help protect you in case something is to fall on you as well. All right. So it looks like that first warning that was in Butts County has finally expired, and now we're just left with the one that's going to be in Jasper County. So if you happen to be anywhere in Butts County, you're now not within an active tornado warning. But we still do have one for Jasper County as well. We still have two for Jasper County, and I'm going to go check down on the one that's in Upson County right now. All right, we still do have a very good separation between these two colors. And we want to look for the brightest colors along these two. So I think it's going to be right over here. So it's going to be over top of South Crescent Tech along US Route 19. So if you happen to live anywhere near South Crescent Tech along US Route 19, this circulation is going over top of you as we speak in Upson County. So you need to be getting into your safe space right now. The most interior part of your room, or excuse me, most interior part of your home and the lower part of the room or home. So we need to take a look at this again as this rotation has just updated on us. So we will zoom it back out here. Take a look at the update. So now it looks to be moving over top of Red Bone Crossroads. So again, we have our winds going up towards the radar and away, giving us this counterclockwise circulation, prompting the need for a tornado warning over top of Red Bone Crossroads. You happen to live anywhere near there or in Red Bone Crossroads, the circulation could be over top of you right now, and you need to be taking shelter at this moment. It's going to be heading towards, looks like, Logtown. If you happen to be living there, it's heading your direction as well. If you happen to live near Yatesville, if you happen to live near Culloden, Motox Compound, Strouds, this is still a few minutes away from you, but looks to be on its way towards your direction. So be prepared that there could be another warning thrown out for this. Could be extended, it could not, but just be prepared if you happen to live in any of these places, especially along Georgia Highway 74, to be prepared in case this does happen to be extended. All right, going back up here, we still do have our two tornado warnings. All right, still watching this right now, not seeing a whole big amount of rotation out of these currently, which is good. But we still want to watch these, make sure nothing is intensifying. It looks like this is using the radar out of Peachtree City still. Okay. So we want to make sure we're using it in respect to that. But we'll zoom in, kind of go over where we think there could be possible rotation. So this is going to be in the northern portions of Jasper County. This is going to be right over top of Broughton still. So we'll zoom in here. Here we go. All right. So we'll just circle this right here to give us a better idea of that rotation again. So we want to think of this as the radar from Peachtree City. So this is going to be the air going away from that radar as it is off towards the west. And it's going to be watching our winds going back towards it, giving us that counterclockwise rotation indicative of circulation. So this is still going to be over top of Broughton and Georgia Highway 213. So if you happen to live anywhere, this is right on the Jasper County line. So you want to be making sure that you are in your safe space right now, as that circulation could be over top of you as we speak. So I want to go check out the other warning within Jasper County at the moment. All right, and still using the radar from Peachtree City. So this area of circulation looks to be just to the west of Jasper County High School. So you happen to live anywhere next to Jasper County High School, along Georgia Highway 11, maybe near 7 Island Road, maybe even next to Calvin Road, next to Stinson Drive, this is your time to get into your safe place as soon as possible. The most interior part of your room or most interior part of your home, the lowest part of your home, and away from any windows if at all possible. So those are the 2 active warnings we have in Jasper County right now. I'm going to zoom out and see if we still have one for Upson County. All right, it looks like we do, and it has been extended into a few other counties as well. So it's going to be now in Lamar County, it's going to be in Monroe County, and even into Crawford County as well. So this just got updated. All right, and we have some pretty bright colors right here. So I want to circle this. It's going to be just to the east of Red Bone Crossroads, making its way towards Logtown. All right, so we have some bright colors here, which means some strong rotation going on within this specific tornado warning. That's hence why we did extend it into a new one. So if you happen to be in Red Bone Crossroads, if you happen to be in Logtown, there is strong circulation coming over you right now. This is the time, if you have not yet, to get into your safe place in the lowest part of your home, wherever you live, away from windows. Take some shoes with you, take a pillow with you to protect your head, and grab everything you need to be in your safe place, as this is over top of Red Bone Crossroads and as well as Logtown, making its way north and eastward. So let's see where this could end up in the next few minutes. So I'm going to zoom us out here. And use this. So in the direction this is heading, maybe around 9:57, this could be moving towards Yatesville, and right at 10:02 could be making its way towards Stroud. So if you happen to live within any of these areas as well, this tornado warning, you're in it actively, and the rotation is heading your direction at the moment. So if you live in any of those 2 areas, this is your time to get within your safe space right now. As this looks to be some strong rotation within this cell right here. So let's zoom in just a little bit more. So this is going to be just over top of Truan Mill Road, Andrews Chapel Road, and Grays Chapel Road. So if you happen to live near any of those roads, that strong rotation is over top of you right now, and you need to be getting into your safe space, and especially if you live anywhere to the north and east of these areas, it's coming for you in just a few minutes as well. So it's going to be making its way into your area, and you need to be getting into that safe space right now. All right, I'm just going to briefly check with the National Weather Service, see if they're seeing anything that I'm not, maybe any reports. All right, not seeing any confirmed reports at the moment, but since this is a stronger rotation, I do just want to look at this debris signature just closely just to see. So again, we're watching that rotation just to the east of Red Bone Crossroads and just to the west of Logtown, right in this area. Right now, not seeing anything definitive in terms of debris, which is good. We're still going to be watching for our velocity just to see if anything happens to intensify, hopefully weaken, but we'll still be watching it to see as things progress. But again, this is going to be in Upson County, making its way towards Monroe County and Lamar County as well. So it's right over top of Logtown at this moment. Again, we're going to have these strong winds going away from the radar and then going to the radar, so giving us that counterclockwise rotation, so just to the northeast of Logtown. So this is where that rotation is at the moment. So we'll zoom in just a little bit just to see where this could be going. Again, if you happen to live in Yatesville, if you happen to live in Strouds, if you happen to live near the Motox compound, if you happen to live near Culloden, this is your time to get into that safe space right now, as it is heading towards your direction along US Route 341 and Georgia Highway 74. All right, I don't want to neglect the other 2 warnings that we still do have up in Jasper County. All right, it looks like this one has been cut back just a little bit. So it's still going to include just the eastern portions of Pallado, Jasper County High School, Blackwell along Georgia Highway 229. Georgia Highway 83 is included as you make your way towards the northern portions of Monticello. So if you happen to live anywhere in this polygon, you're still in an active tornado warning. So do take shelter in place. But as I zoom in here, I'm not seeing anything super definitive in terms of circulation, which is good. But again, if you're within this polygon, it's still an active tornado warning, so you still want to take it seriously and get into your safe space. As we make our way northward to this one on the northern portions of Jasper County, you're still going to have Broughton and Farrar within this warning right here. So if you happen to live along Georgia Highway 142 out just south of Broughton and north of Farrar, this is your time to get within your safe space, as this is still actively within a tornado warning. So we can zoom in here and get a little bit more specific with those roads. So again, if you happen to live near Williams Road, near J.H. Whitaker Road, if you happen to live near Cottonwood Lane, just next to Georgia Highway 142, you're still in an active tornado warning, so you need to be getting to your safe space as soon as possible. All right, so just want to head back to this one down here, as we still do have some rather strong rotation going on just to the northeast of Logtown. All right, we're going to circle it for us as well, just so we have a better idea of where exactly that is located. So we're going to want to look to where these colors are going to be closely touching and also have the brightest hues within these colors. So we're going to see, we're even going to get a little bit of the orange and yellow out of this red, giving us a stronger measurement out of this, as well as looking at this green right here. So still giving us that counterclockwise rotation indicative of strong circulation. This is just to the northeast of Logtown, heading towards Yatesville, the Motox compound, towards Culloden, near the intersection of US Route 341 and Georgia Highway 74. So if you happen to live anywhere near that area, you're in an active tornado warning and need to be getting to your safe space right now. Again, the lowest part of wherever you live, away from any windows. Bring some shoes with you in case any debris happens to get near you so you don't step on any glass or anything dangerous. And you also might want to bring a pillow with you just to help protect your head, or maybe even the helmet as well. So it looks like that rotation has now updated. So let's take off that circulation right there. All right, we're still watching it. It's not as closely touching, but we still do have some bright hues within that. It's going to be now along Yatesville. So I'm going to redraw that circle. So we still have our bright colors in here. I'm actually going to redraw that just a little bit lower. So again, if you happen to be in Yatesville right now, the Motox compound, Strouds, Culloden, it's making its way towards you right now, and you need to be getting into your safe spaces. So let's redraw that area for right here. So still watching these two colors, that outbound and inbound flow. Suspecting the circulation is going to be right here. Again, the brightest colors being right here between the red and that green. So just to the west of the Motox compound, intersecting US Route 341 and Georgia Highway 74. So if you happen to live anywhere near that intersection, this is your time to get within that safe space. So I'll zoom in here as well so we can give some more local roads. All right, so if you happen to live near Billy Harris Road, just off of Georgia Highway 74, you need to be getting into your safe space. If you happen to live near Church Street, just off of US Route 341, if you happen to live off of Norwood Street, Tunyard Creek Street, this is your time to get into your safe space right now. Even Oxford Road, right off of Georgia Highway 74. This is making its way towards you just within the next few minutes. It's going to be heading towards Strouds, Russellville, Dias, Morin, heading towards Brent. So this is your time. If you have not gotten within your safe space at the moment, this is your time to get into it, as you're still under an active tornado warning. All right, so I do want to still check with the ones up here. All right, so thankfully it looks like the one in northern Jasper County has expired, which is good news. So this is going to be up near Broughton and Farrar, and that tornado warning has expired. So if you happen to live in those areas, you are no longer within an active tornado warning. We still do have one in effect for central Jasper County. It's now going to be near Blackwell, Jasper County High School, and Jasper County Middle School, still encapsulating the northern portion of Monticello as well. So if you happen to live within that polygon, you're still in an active tornado warning. And based on this radar signature right here, I'm going to say that that circulation is just outside of that box. So I'm going to see if they happen to get rid of this polygon sometime here soon. It's going to have your inbound flow right here and your outbound flow right there, albeit not very strong and not within that polygon. So we will keep an eye on it for the next few minutes. But I will say that if you happen to be just to the east of Blackwell and Monticello, oh, and there we go, that polygon has now disappeared. So I'm going to zoom us back out. And now there are no active tornado warnings within Butts County or Jasper County as well. So we still do have some strong storms on its way. So although there is not an active warning at the moment, still be vigilant and still stay alert and make sure you're still keeping up to date in case anything is to pop back up. But at the moment, no active warnings for Butts or Jasper County. So that leaves us with the tornado warning down here, still in Upson County, but making its way towards Lamar, towards Crawford and Monroe County. So we do still have some bright greens in here, which is indicative of some stronger rotation. So it's going to be just over top of the Motox compound. So again, if you happen to live anywhere near the Motox compound, Strouds, Culloden, circulation is going to be over top of you at this moment, heading towards Russellville, Dias, as we go a little bit to the north and east, heading towards Brent, and even eventually Smar within the next 10 to 15 minutes. So if you happen to live anywhere out here along Georgia Highway 42, Georgia Highway 83 near Brent, even all the way out on US Route 41 near Smar, just be prepared to get into your safe space, as you're still in an active tornado warning in this area of circulation is making its way north and eastward at the moment. So I'll just zoom in to this area of circulation again, so we get a little bit of a better look. All right, and just switch back over to the Peachtree City radar. So we are still seeing that the circulation is still going to be over top of that Motox compound. So I'm just going to zoom in. So if you happen to live near Billy Harris Road off of US Route 341, if you happen to live near Oxford Road just off of US Route 341, that rotation is over top of you right now, and you need to be getting into your safe space as this is an active tornado warning. Still making its way towards Strouds, Russellville, and Dias. So if you were there, it's making its way towards you within the next few minutes. So be prepared to be in your safe spaces right now and or heading to it at the moment. I do apologize for the radar switching. It is just on that line between our radar and the radar up towards Peachtree City with our National Weather Service partners. But we still do have that rotation just over top of that Motox compound. I'm going to head back to our National Weather Service, see if they have anything to report, maybe any findings, just in case I'm not seeing it from here on our radar. All right, just give me just a couple of seconds just to read this. All right, so nothing that I am seeing at the moment. What I am going to do is see how fast this storm is moving at the moment, so we can get a better idea of where this storm could be heading within the next 10 to 15 minutes. All right, so the storm is moving at 45 miles an hour. So let's see, we're going to get that cone out again. Just going to edit the speed here just to give us a more accurate representation of where it could be within the next 10 to 15 minutes. So again, still have that rotation just over top of Motox compound, and it looks like it just has updated to the eastern portion of Motox compound. So we'll zoom in here, give us a little bit of a better idea. All right, so it's now switched back over to our radar. Things are getting a little bit more messy because this is a little bit further out from the radar, but still do our best to give us a good idea. So we still have the bright greens just along Georgia Highway 74. So we'll zoom in here to get some more local roads. So it's going to be just near Davis Road, just off of Georgia Highway 74. All right, so we will just circulate that circulation another time right here. So again, just going to be to the east of the Motox compound, just to the east of Culloden, and just to the south of Stroud's, making its way towards Russellville and Dias, heading towards the intersection of Georgia Highway 74 and Georgia Highway 42. So if you happen to live anywhere near that intersection or anywhere near these two areas right here, this is that time to get into your safe space, as this is an active tornado warning. So I want to put a cone on this to give us a better idea of where it could be within the next 10 to 15 minutes. So let's see, we'll break it out this way, and we'll do 15 minutes. All right, so again, like I was mentioning, it looks like Russellville is still going to be within that path. All right, here we will redo that one more time, just because that time did just drop off for us. All right, so starting from that circulation and heading outwards, just about 15 minutes. So it looks like Russellville is the only area that did pick up, but that looks to be getting there right around 10:09. So at the moment it is 10:05, so it looks to get there in just about the next few minutes. So again, if you happen to live anywhere in Russellville or surrounding it along Georgia Highway 42, any intersection of Georgia Highway 74, it's going to be heading your direction within the next few minutes. You need to be getting into your safe space now if you have not already, in the most interior portion of your home, the lowest portion of your home, so the first floor or even a basement works great, especially if you have a storm shelter. That's the best. And you want to make sure you do have some shoes with you and maybe even a helmet or a pillow to help protect your head as well. So we're going to see they actually just redrew that polygon, so it's just getting out of Upson County and is making its way now into Monroe County, again heading towards Russellville and Dias as well. So we're still watching that circulation. Just going to zoom out, see if there are any new warnings out there. And I don't see one at the moment. All right. I'm going to see, maybe there's even some severe thunderstorm warnings out there. All right, so there is not. We still just have the one tornado warning at the moment, which is good. So we will just go back to the velocity and keep watching it and keep updating with it as it does progress. But again, just to reiterate, it is now making its way towards Russellville and Dias along the intersection of Georgia Highway 42 and Georgia Highway 74. So that circulation is going to be going towards the radar with this green, and with this red, it's going to be going away from the radar. So giving us that counterclockwise rotation, indicating some circulation within the system. So over top of Russellville and Dias, heading towards the east and the north as well. All right, we'll go over to the debris tracker shortly, just to check out that area of circulation. So it looks to be a little messy at the moment. It's a little hard to tell. All right. And this discoloration back here could even be some debris as well, just that there is this discoloration within this red right here. So if you happen to live to the south of Logtown, even to the east of Birdsong Crossroads, there could be debris in your area from a potential tornado. So we're still watching it, still waiting for a confirmation on that, but the current circulation over towards Russellville, it's a little messy, it's a little hard to tell. So I'm just going to go back to the radar for the moment so we can get a better idea of where that circulation is heading towards. All right, so still over top of Russellville at the moment, has not given us an update, but still moving at about 45 miles an hour. So I will zoom us out a little bit, give us a little bit of a wider swath of what we could expect with that path. So we'll zoom out here to about the edge of that warning, so in about 15 minutes. All right, so it looks to not pick up anything on that, so we will just go in manually and zoom in just a little bit to give us a better idea. Again, if you happen to live along this intersection of Georgia Highway 42 and Georgia Highway 74 near Russellville or Dias, this is your time to get into your safe space, as you are under an active tornado warning as well. So this is your time to get to that innermost room, away from windows, on the lowest floor possible, and as well as taking some shoes with you to help you with any debris that could be there, and even a helmet just on the off chance there anything is to fall and maybe even hit your head as well to help keep your head safe. but we are watching it as it does progress to the north and the east. So we'll zoom in here, get a little bit more of these local roads. So again, near Treadwell Road, near Russellville Road, out of Russellville, that circulation is moving over top of you at the moment, so you need to be in your safe space, heading towards the east and the north. So still along Treadwell Road, along with Hardin Road and Rogers Church Road as well, just over here. So if you happen to live near any of those roads, this is that time to get into your safe space. All right, still watching the circulation, looks to have died down just a little bit, which is good. We do like when it weakens, but we're still going to watch it just in case it happens to intensify as well. So this is going to still be in the southern portions of Monroe County at the moment. So to the south of Forsyth, excuse me, and to the north of Musella. So as we look, we do have Bibb County with Macon right here. It's going to be right over here with Lizella right there. This is going to be the southern portion of Monroe County. So again, it was previously in Upson County, crossed over into Crawford and Lamar County, but that main circulation is still going to be in the southern portion of Monroe County. And it is thankfully the only active warning out there. We did have a few across the board earlier, but this is the only one that we do have left. So just to the south of Forsyth in Monroe County. We still do have a line of strong storms making their way into the mid-state right now. So some severe thunderstorm warnings could be put out there as well. So we just have to keep our eyes on things, but this is the only active warning that we do have, and it is an active tornado warning. So if you happen to be within this polygon, this is your time to get into your safe space right now. The lowest part of wherever you live in the most interior part, away from windows, along with some shoes, maybe a weather radio if you have it. That's good for communication purposes, especially if a cell tower is to go out, you still have communication with radio to give you some updates that way as well. And even a helmet or a pillow just in case anything is to happen to fall on you, just to keep your head safe as well. So we'll zoom back in, focus on that circulation. So just moving to the east of that intersection of Georgia Highway 74 and Georgia Highway 42, looks to have weakened from the very beginning of this warning, which is always a good sign, but we still do have a bright green within this circulation and a little bit of red. So I'm just going to circle that right here. It's going to be along that Georgia Highway 74. So as we zoom in, it's going to be just over top of Pondit Lane, on top of Russellville Road, on top of Hardin Road, along Georgia Highway 74. So this is where that strongest indication of circulation seems to be within this active tornado warning. So if you happen to live anywhere near these roads, this is your time to get into your safe space and grab everything you need to be safe. So still watching this active warning as things progress. But again, thankfully this circulation has been weakening as we've been watching it, which is always a good sign. And we do have a new scan out. Still do have some bright greens in there, but that red that usually coincides and happens to touch with the green to give us that strong rotation doesn't seem to really be touching the green anymore along Georgia Highway 74, which is a good sign. We're still watching that circulation. There still is this polygon issued for that tornado warning, so we're still going to treat it as if everything is still there, if there is one on the ground, because things can happen. We can still get a spin up from this for sure, so we want to make sure we're still in our safe spaces, still hunkering down until we do get the all clear from our partners at the National Weather Service to make sure everybody is good and everyone is staying safe. Again, this is going to be in the southern portions of Monroe County to the south of Forsyth and is the only active tornado warning that we do have here in the mid-state. We did have a few up towards Butts and Jasper County, but thankfully this is the only one that we do have left, and the circulation looks to be decreasing as it is moving eastward, which is always a good sign. But as we zoom back in here, again, the circulation moving to the east of Russellville and Dias along Georgia Highway 74. A little bit more disjointed now, not so much together with these two green and red colors. That's when you get that stronger sense of circulation. But the red and the green, you're going to notice it's getting a little fuzzy, a little messy, which is what you want to see. You don't want it to be very clean, very consistent, because that gives that indication, again, of that stronger circulation. So the fact that it looks a little messy is a good sign. We still do have some bright greens out there. So it could just be some straight damaging winds, but still an active tornado warning, so we still want to treat it that way, and we still want to be in our safe spaces. But again, seems to be weakening as it makes its way eastward. So we'll still keep watching the scans until we do have this lifted, but still moving eastward along Georgia Highway 74. So if you happen to be near, it is Rogers Church Road, near Jackson Lindsay Road, anywhere near Bagley Road, just off of Georgia Highway 74. This is where that strongest point of rotation within this warning is at the moment. So this is your time. If you have not yet gotten into your safe space, this is the time to do it, to be as safe as possible. All right, so everybody in Upson County and Lamar County, you guys are good from this warning. You are not anywhere within this polygon. If you happen to live in Culloden, you guys are out of that polygon now as well. If you happen to live in Musella, that circulation is to your north and to your east, so you guys are good. So it's still just to the south of Forsyth, making its way eastward towards Bolingbroke, towards Barrington Hall Golf Club. So thankfully, this polygon has not been expanded, and we want it to stay that way. It still could, but at the moment, we're still watching it as it makes its way across this polygon with that rotation weakening at the moment. All right, so looks like we got maybe another new scan in here. Still things look a little fuzzy. And there's that new scan. Okay, here we go. So yeah, still things look fuzzy within this scan. Still do have some bright greens within this. But right up here where we have this connection between this red and that green, this is where I think that rotation still could be within this warning. So right on top of SMAR. So we're going to draw out that circulation right here where we have our inbound flow with the green and our outbound flow with the red, giving us the counterclockwise rotation to indicate that circulation. So within this warning, that's where I see the biggest threat at the moment. So we'll zoom in here. If you happen to live along Essex Place, if you happen to live along Reedy Creek Road, if you happen to live near Ghost Road, in SMAR along US Route 41, this circulation is over top of you right now. So you need to be getting into your safe spaces in the most interior part of your home, the lowest part of your home, away from any windows with some shoes and maybe even a pillow or a helmet to help keep your head safe, as the circulation is moving over top of you in SMAR and Monroe County, even making its way over towards I-75 within the next few minutes. But still the only active warning that we do have across the midstate in terms of tornado warnings. So we're going to keep with it as long as this active warning is out there. Has not been extended, which is good, but still going to keep watch with it as it makes its way eastward. But still watching that circulation up near SMAR in case it happens to intensify. But again, this is going to be just over top of SMAR in Monroe County along US Route 41, where we have our inbound flow right here with the green and our outbound flow with the red, giving us that indication of some potential circulation. So even if you aren't in SMAR, if you were just across I-75, maybe near towards Bolingbroke, if you happen to be along Georgia Highway 18, just the north of SMAR, this could be heading your way within the next 10 to 15 minutes. So even though there isn't an active warning right now, you still want to stay vigilant and be prepared in case there happens to be another polygon that is expanded and thrown out there, just because things can spin up, especially with today. So still want to be vigilant, still want to take our precautions, but that active circulation that I'm noticing is still going to be over top of SMAR at the moment, going to be near Montpelier Road, Essex Place, McCowan Road. It looks like it just did update on me, so we'll zoom out with that. And it looks like the majority of that rotation is starting to move out of the polygon, which is good because they have not issued a new polygon. So we still do have our bright greens, but I think that is going to be our straight damaging winds, as we don't have any red coinciding with it to give us that indication of circulation. So even though we might be out of the clear, as if you're in Russellville and Dias, there still is the potential for some strong winds out there. So even across the board, if you aren't within an active tornado warning, there's still the threat for some strong damaging winds tonight across the mid-state. So you still want to be vigilant and still be aware, but still watching this active tornado warning as it makes its way through the southern portions of Monroe County. So still want to watch this small little area of potential circulation just at the northern portion of this polygon right here, just to the east of Smar along US Route 41. So it looks to be just over top of Rumble Road and also Ray Hartley Road. So if you happen to live anywhere near there, near Smar, just to the east of Smar rather, that circulation is over top of you and you're still within that active tornado warning. So you need to be getting into your safe place right now. And it's eventually going to make its way over top of I-75 and Rumble Road that goes over I-75. So still watching our active warning right now. It still is the only active warning across the mid-state, but we still do have the threat for those strong damaging winds tonight as we have these storms making their way through the mid-state. But again, still just the one active tornado warning as we head through the next few minutes. But I'm not seeing anything super strong in terms of circulation. Again, with this brighter green, you typically see a red alongside with it, and especially this being in a line right here, that tells me that this is more of a straight line damaging wind within this polygon, but still do have some potential circulation out in front. And it looks like we did just have a severe thunderstorm warning issued extending outside of this polygon. So that is going to be, let's zoom in here. It's going to be, I'm gonna go to the radar because this, the velocity is getting a little messy in terms of where this is going to be. So we'll zoom that up to now. So it's going to be moving through Monroe County into Jones County and even to the northern portions of Bibb County. So that's the severe thunderstorm that did just get issued out front rather, of this tornado warning. And that's going to be those straight damaging winds that I was talking about. But we still do have a tornado warning in effect, so I still want to keep watch on that and still look at it as it is still out there. And like I mentioned, that rotation that I was seeing looks to have just now moved outside of this tornado warning. So we still want to keep our eye on it just because it is still out there, but I'm going to check with our partners at the National Weather Service and see if they maybe have any plans to expire that and or cancel it. So just give me 1 second while I check with them. All right, so thankfully our partners, the National Weather Service, says that they're getting ready to drop this tornado warning, and they mentioned they just replaced it with this severe thunderstorm warning. So they said that there is still the potential for some tornadoes to reemerge. Again, these quick spin-up tornadoes with this line, but at the moment they're going to drop this warning here shortly and just expand it with the severe thunderstorm instead. So that's when it comes into play with those straight line damaging winds and maybe even some hail, because I think I was seeing on our radar even some pink within the radar, which is indicative of the potential for some hail with those stronger updrafts. So we will just hang out and make sure that this does drop off until we go into that severe thunderstorm warning. But I hope everyone is staying safe out there. Again, we did have quite a few warnings out earlier, especially some tornado warnings, but we just have the one that we're now waiting for the National Weather Service to drop off as we head into the only other active warning that we do have, which is this severe thunderstorm warning in Monroe, Jones, and northern Bibb County. So that's going to bring some damaging winds and maybe even some hail as well. So as we flip over to our radar, here, I want to flip this here. So it looks like that front edge is making its way just towards Bolingbrook at the moment as it crosses over Interstate I-75 right here. Again, we still have some flecks of that pink in there, which could be indicative of some hail, but it's not a very big area of hail, or excuse me, a big area of that pink. So I'll just have to see if it happens to intensify or grow in size to really give us a better idea of whether or not this could be producing hail. But I still want to look back and still see when they drop this off. Excuse me, that is the debris, so we'll go back to our velocity. All right, and I'm still just checking my phone just in case anything on there I am missing something, but it looks like we are okay at the moment. But still watching for this active tornado warning across southern Monroe County to drop off as we go into the new severe thunderstorm warning for Jones, Monroe, and northern Bibb counties, as that circulation has moved outside of the tornado warning polygon. And we move to more damaging winds and of more of a hail threat with this warning right here. All right, so we'll go over to this, bring it up to speed with now. So we've got a couple lightning strikes now starting to form within this line. As we zoom out here, we now have that line making its way through middle Georgia. Again, it's going to be going through Monroe into Crawford and even into Taylor County with that stronger rain and even those strong winds, as we have that red color indicating heavier rainfall. We do have a couple lightning strikes out there, not a whole lot, not a big cluster of them. So we will watch as this does progress to see if it happens to intensify over the next 10 or so minutes. All right, I still want to flip back to the velocity just because we still do have that warning here. I know they mentioned they were going to drop it, but I still just want to be safe and check everything. Once again, this is going to still be within the southern portions of Monroe County towards Russellville, making its way towards east as we head towards Bolingbroke. But that main line with the new severe thunderstorm warning is going to now be just over top of Bolingbroke, making its way towards these shops at River Crossing in northern Bibb County and also all the way up towards Lake Juliet. You guys are going to be expecting some of that heavier rain and stronger winds right now as well. So we will head back to our radar and still check on things. All right, still just checking in with this area with the severe thunderstorm warning right now. So this is going to still be in Monroe County, just to the north and west of Bolingbroke, making its way towards Interstate 75. Still do have a little bit of pink thrown in here, not a whole lot of it. So if there is any hail within this system, and it's going to be very small at the moment, but this could grow as we head throughout the next 10 to 15 minutes if this happens to intensify. But regardless, it's going to be some strong winds in here and even some heavy rain, especially with this red color right here. This is going to be very heavy rain within this, especially along this line as well across the mid-state. It's going to stretch all the way up through Monroe County and all the way down into Taylor County, making its way through Butler, heading towards Rupert. Right now in Roberta, making its way towards Zenith, and eventually here into Macon as well. So, not a whole lot of lightning strikes out there, but we're still watching things, still keeping an eye out, still do have the tornado warning out there. So, still want to check on things, make sure we cover all the bases. Still not seeing any circulation within this warning. I think we're just waiting for them to drop it on our end. Now more of a focus on this severe thunderstorm warning that is making its way through Monroe County, heading into northern Bibb, and then making its way into Jones County as well. All right, and we do have a little bit of a bow within this line. So we're going to zoom in here just a little bit. So we're going to see back here, we get a little bit of a bowing segment right here. So that's going to push the wind out in front of here, giving us that stronger winds. It's going to be within this severe thunderstorm warning. So I think that's part of the reason it did get issued, especially having these straight line damaging winds making their way towards Bolingbroke. You're going to be in that right now, making its way towards Lake Juliet and shops at River Crossing. You guys are within that path within the next 10 to 15 minutes as well. So I'm going to go see exactly how fast that storm is moving so then we can put a tracker on it as well. All All right, so just watching for that tornado warning to drop off, but still is up there for the moment, and we still just have the one severe thunderstorm warning in effect for Monroe, Jones, and Bibb County. All right, let's see. Right here. All right, this storm is moving at 45 miles an hour. Okay. Just want to make sure we had the right speed so we get the best estimate possible when we do put this tracker on there. As it makes its way towards these shops at River Crossing, heading into Jones and Northern Bibb. So here, I'm gonna pull out just a little bit and then put that zoom in, or the tracker, excuse me, just at that leading edge right here within that warned portion. So we're going to pull it out about 15 minutes. So within this severe thunderstorm warning, within the 15 minutes, this is where we could see that leading edge. So right at 10:30, it's just about to be 10:30 right now, could be heading towards Ace as we head off to about 10:31. Now it's heading towards these shops at River Crossing. Right around 10:36, could be heading right towards River North Community College. And as we head off to around 10:40, heading near the Dames Ferry Elementary School, and even by 10:43 could see it heading towards Bradley. So again, with this severe thunderstorm warning, we could see those damaging winds of up to 60 miles an hour. Could even see some hail form within this. We do have a slight small pink core, so there could be some hail up within that storm at the moment, maybe even some falling to the ground, but not anything significant. As we head throughout this, we'll be keeping in mind seeing how it intensifies. Not a whole lightning associated with it right now, but we will keep an eye on things. But thankfully, there are no more active tornado warnings across the mid-state. So we did have 4 at one point, but now we just have 0. We just have the severe thunderstorm warning as our only active warning. So we will keep our eye on things and see how it does progress. So this is now, again, it's going to be now heading through Lake Juliet. It's going to be going through Dames Ferry. It's going to be getting right towards the front edge of shops at River Crossing in northern Bibb County along Georgia Highway 148. Bolingbrook, you guys are in that heavy rain right now along Interstate 75, making its way eastward with those strong winds. So we'll zoom in just a little bit. Going to have near the Jarrell Plantation, near Washington Park Elementary School. You guys are getting ready to meet that leading edge with that stronger rain and heavier winds. Dames Ferry, same story for you guys. As we head our way down the leading edge, going to be following US Route 23 as we head our way towards the Brickyard Golf Club. You guys are just about to see some of that heavier rain and some of that heavier wind as well. So if you happen to be living near these shops at River Crossing in northern Bibb, this is just about to make it into your area. So now we do have a lot of people in this area specifically. So want to make sure that if you happen to have anything out there that might not be hunkered down, might not be tied down, you want to make sure you do grab it before it gets here. We do not have a whole lot of time, but if you have maybe just 30 seconds, but I really do advise you, if at all possible, to stay inside if you can, and just make sure that if anything is loose to try and secure it if it is at all safe to do so. Do not put yourself at harm if you can, just it is not advised. But we do have it making its way in towards that area right now. Again, going along Georgia Highway 148, crossing over Interstate 75 right now, and also US Route 23. So the biggest concern with this severe thunderstorm warning is going to be those damaging winds, where we can see them up to 60 miles an hour. And it's going to be making its way through the mid-state as we speak. I'm going to see when that does set to expire. And it looks to expire right around 10:45 unless it happens to be extended. But at the moment, this polygon is set to expire right at 10:45 p.m. So we'll just keep going back down the line. So now it's over top of the Jarrell Plantation, right over top of Washington Park Elementary School and Dames Ferry. So now you're starting to experience some of that heavier rain and some of that stronger wind. And then again, it's going to be going all the way down US Route 23, heading towards these shops at River Crossing, and is going to be making its way towards downtown Macon within the next 10 to 15 minutes as well. As we look a little bit further out in front of that line, we're going to see that wayside along Georgia Highway 11 is still within this path for the severe thunderstorm warning. And we're also going to have Bradley just on the edge of that warning right there. So still within the next 10 to 15 minutes. If you live anywhere near Wayside or Bradley, you could start to expect some heavier rain and some strong, potentially damaging winds make it into your area. As we go down just a little bit more, so we're going to be going along Georgia Highway. Let's see what that is right there. Georgia Highway, that is 18. Just want to make sure I get the number right as it heads toward Dames Ferry Elementary School. So that's going to be heading towards your area within the next 10 to 15 minutes, especially as it begins to intersect with US Route 129. As we go a little bit further down, still going to be making its way towards the River North Community College, as well as Liberty Park, and also Lucas Lake fishing area. So if you happen to live within any of those areas, within the next few minutes, you could start to experience some of that heavier rain and some stronger and potentially damaging winds. Again, these severe thunderstorms can have winds up to 60 miles an hour. So you want to make sure that if it is all safe to do, you try to secure anything you can, but do not put yourself at risk to secure anything. You just want to make sure that you yourself are going to be safe as well. So just try to stay away from any windows if you can, because these winds can pick up debris and have it fly. So you just want to make sure you are staying safe, being away from windows if at all possible, and just staying safe within this polygon right here. I have a few lightning strikes just to the south of Lake Juliet as well, just next to Dames Ferry. We'll still have just a small pink core, actually just updated on me, so that pink core has fizzled out just a little bit. But still a couple lightning strikes within this area along the intersection of US Route 23 and Georgia Highway 18. So still experiencing some heavy rain in Lake Juliet, near the Lake Juliet Dam, near Dames Ferry, as we make our way down US Route 23. It's now going to be making its way through these shops at river crossings. You're most likely experiencing some of that heavier rain and some of that wind too. As we zoom out, just to check, there are still no other active warnings at the moment. So we just had the one severe thunderstorm warning for Monroe, Jasper, and northern Bibb counties. And this polygon right here is set to expire right at 10:45 p.m. All right. We will just keep on watching this as it makes its way towards the east into Jones County towards Gray. So there is the potential it could be extended. So if you happen to live near Round Oak, near Etheridge, if you happen to live in Gray, near Morton, or near the Greenberry Crossroads, even Haddock, this could be extended into your area after this does expire. So you want to stay vigilant. You want to be prepared in case it does get extended and you happen to be within that severe thunderstorm warning. Again, this is going to bring some potentially severe damaging winds, maybe even some hail if it happens to intensify. I'm not seeing a whole lot out of this right now, as you typically are going to see a very bright spot of that pink and purple color, but you just see a couple dots within here. So I don't see a lot of hail within this system particularly, but we still do want to be sure that we are paying attention to that heavy rain and those winds. All right. So now that we do not have any active tornado warnings, just give me 1 second. I will be back. I just want to make sure that we get off air, and I will be back in just a second. And also just grab some water, but we still just do have the one active warning for Monroe, Jones, and Bibb County.
Now at Rooms to Go, get beautiful new furniture at super low prices, like these great-looking dining sets for any decor, just $4.95. Or one of these stylish sets, just $5.95. A great selection, a great price. Only at Rooms to Go.
Another great Saturday of college football.
You're always pushing yourself. There's no time to rest. You keep moving forward. The only thing better than your last accomplishment is your next.
What's next?
What's next?
What's next?
So, Allie, what's next?
I guess we'll see.
Find a bank that's as excited about your future as you are. A bank that asks,
What's next?
Renaissance Bank, understanding you.
Are tire prices going to be affected by tariffs? Yes. Is Raffield Tire Master going to help you save money? Of course we will, with our Beat the Tariff sale. Right now, when you buy a set of 4-passenger or light truck tires, any brand, you'll get a $100 instant service rebate. That's $100 off Michelin, BF Goodrich, or any other brands at one of our 6 Raffield Tire Master locations in Macon or Warner Robins before the savings are gone. Gone.
Look what just $8.99 buys you at Rooms to Go Kids. Cool rooms, priced low, in great colors and styles. Just $8.99 or $20 a month. Interest-free until March 2029 with convenient delivery and setup. Now at Rooms to Go Kids.
2-hour season finale Wednesday on Fox.
A mental break may have led to his disappearance.
Monday, the missing persons team joins a desperate search to bring a loved one home.
There is absolutely still hope that he's out there, that he's alive.
All new Missing Persons, Monday on Fox.
This is a new beginning.
Where common sense
Is our common ground. We're telling your story.
Is the most important story.
And we're not afraid to tell it.
where American values unite us.
And don't divide us.
This is a time to come together.
For you.
For me.
For all.
For all.
For all.
For all.
For all.
For all America.
For all America.
This is Joseph Newgarden. Joseph was conceived to win races. Stopped drinking milk at 2, picked it back up at 32. Good for strong bones. Tell that to his clavicle. Joseph wins even when he loses. This is his wife, his Tuesdays, his hand-eye coordination. He might have the greatest jawline in sports.
He's not that handsome.
And on Sundays, Joseph flies. Welcome to the fastest racing on Earth.
Kansas City got shut out last night, and the game nearly got shut out. I don't know what came faster. Was the actual rain or the water or then the Kansas City power? The Royals 3 home runs to a 4-0 victory. Chris Bubich was outstanding. Kansas City is 2 over and will go for the series win tomorrow. We say farewell from Camden Yards. Thank you for watching Baseball Night in America.
Kyle Tucker and the Cubs battle Juan Soto and the Mets.
That is a monster shot!
Or the Giants take on the Twins. It's Baseball Night in America next Saturday at 7 Eastern on Fox.
Don't know about you, this time feels kind of better.
Welcome back. I will be reducing the scholarship program from 5 places to 3.
Go out like a legend.
All the good things.
It's a party.
Welcome to Unfiltered Soccer. I'm your co-host, Tim Howard, along with the legendary Brandon Donovan. We both have a PhD in soccer.
And we're both at an age now where we can be unfiltered.
Unfiltered Soccer, presented by Volkswagen. Tune in wherever you get your podcasts.
Most of the time, you just don't know how badly you're hurt following a wreck.
It can take a while.
Before the insurance company tries to trick you into taking a small supplement,
call us. Dozier Law Firm. We're here to help.
Right now.